Good morning, gorgeous women. I'm really excited to be here and diving into day 3 of our Profitable Facebook Group Challenge. I have got to tell you, I've got a freaking epic day 3 planned. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes to see who joins me live. As we're doing that, if you're watching the replay, it's amazing to see you. Say hello. I hope you've been enjoying the replays if you haven't been able to join us live every day. So today I'm going to start with sharing a bit of a secret. I'm going to start by sharing a bit of soul. I'm going to go behind the scenes, and I had a real kind of aha moment yesterday after the live yesterday. And I was thinking about it and I thought, you know what, I'm going to share that today before I dive into today's content, because I think it's going to be really, really freaking valuable for you to see behind the scenes of a 6-figure business a little bit, and to know that you're still human every single step of the way. So it's really fabulous to see this morning. Maria, good morning. Charlie, good morning. Sarah, sorry, good morning. Jeanette, Heather, hello. Rebecca, Julia, mwah. So let's get started, shall we? Firstly, continuing on the Valentine's theme. Are you impressed? There'll be people who are watching this back going, why does she keep talking about Valentine's Day? It's not anywhere near Valentine's Day. So if you are watching this like weeks, months from now and you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, well, it was recorded during Valentine's week. So I would love to hear, firstly, how are you feeling this morning? Give me a little emoji. Let's have fun. Give me a little emoji in the comments to sum up how you are feeling. I feel like I could just put in a little love heart this morning. I'm feeling all filled with love, all good. Far better mindset space than I was yesterday, I've got to tell you. And we are going to dive into that because mindset is huge, right? When it comes to growing your business, when it comes to showing up, when it comes to being visible, when it comes to having clarity and feeling confident and having that certainty in your business, all of it comes from mindset. And yes, we want to know the strategies, we want the systems, we want the plans, we know the best, we want all the best ways to do things and all those things as well, right? Because that's all the fabulous icing and sugar on top. But essentially, if our mindset is not in the right place, and sometimes it's not, then it can make it really hard to show up and really hard to get the results, because it feels like a push and a struggle and climbing a mountain with a freaking giant rucksack on your back, right? And I'm sure that everyone's been there and has experienced that before. I'm just laughing because I can see Sean's head blown emoji, which is hilarious. Give me some more of emojis. I've got some love hearts, which is lovely to see. Give me an emoji. I've got some dancing women, awesome. We've got some waves, we've got some smiling faces. What else have we got this morning? How are you feeling? So the other thing I'd love for you to tell me before we dive into today is tell me what your biggest takeaway is. What's your biggest takeaway from yesterday, from day one? What's your little aha that you're taking, that you're doing something about? Because remember, we've been having this conversation about it's not just about showing up and listening to me during this challenge. It's really about you actually taking something from this and implementing it, taking action on it, doing something with it. Now, I know that lots of you have been doing that because I've been seeing your awesome tasks, which is amazing, and just massive well done for doing all of that, right? So I want to say well done. I want to say, wow, freaking amazing. But also just share with me what's like the thing that you've taken so far that's going to help you move your business the next step, the next leap forwards. Now today, as you're typing that in, because I would love to see them, today we are talking about the truth about selling and money mindset for next level business growth. Because let's be honest, at the end of the day, you've all got a business. You all want to grow your business, which means more clients, more income, because I'm guessing you probably work really freaking hard in your business. You want to make a difference, you're passionate about it, but perhaps right now you're not seeing the income that you know you want and desire. And that might just be because you're just getting started and it's like, well, Claire, I'm only at the beginning, give me a chance. But it might be that you've been struggling for a while. And perhaps you got to that point where you're like, freaking come on already. Like, where's the money? Where's the clients? Why isn't this happening? And so today I want to really dive into that. And of course, talk about it in relation to Facebook groups. so that you can see how you can really utilize this Facebook group, this beautiful tribe, this beautiful space that you're growing for your soul clients, and how you can use it in a really authentic, aligned way to sell and offer your programs, your services, your products. Okay, so we're going to be diving into that big time. Now, before we do, I said I would share with you a little bit of an aha from yesterday. Who was on the live with me yesterday? Give me, who's watched the live from yesterday or watched the replay from yesterday? Give me like a little thumbs up or a little love heart so I can see who's been here. Those of you who were here with me will have seen that I was struggling a little bit at the beginning. I couldn't get into flow. I was feeling blocked. I kept repeating the same words. I was like, what's wrong? I feel like I'm on. Can you remember like old record players where sometimes a little thing would get stuck and it would like, that's how I felt inside me. Now, to lots of you watching, it probably didn't look that bad at all, right? But I think this is a really relevant conversation to have, because when you're growing your business, before you have that confidence, before you have that certainty, it can feel really freaking scary and really hard to show up and do things like Facebook Lives, right? And I sometimes forget that. I've been doing lives for so long now, it does feel easy, it does feel in flow. And so it's not something that I really question anymore. I can just press go live and here I am. But at the beginning, it doesn't feel like that. And at the beginning, it definitely didn't feel like that for me either. It felt stressful. It felt like, oh my God, what if I make a mistake? What if I fall over my words? You probably realize by now I talk really quickly, right? And so sometimes when I get overexcited, my words all come out in a big jumble. And that used to happen quite regularly at the beginning of my Facebook Lives. And it still does sometimes. And this is, you know, years on, and certainly a huge amount of business growth and income and clients and all those things since then. So after the live yesterday, I'll be honest, I felt a bit annoyed with myself because I'm human. And I was like, bloody hell, what did I do? What was all that about? Like, why could I not get into flow? Why was I not feeling it? And I think that it is really important when we feel like things haven't worked in the way that we want them to work. It's worth us having a look, right? It's worth us checking in. It's worth us going, well, was something out of alignment for me? Was something not quite right? And what can I learn from it? And that's one of the things that I've asked myself, one of the questions I've asked myself time and time and time and time again in my business that I know has helped me to grow. What can I learn from this? And so I had it like rattling around in my head all day. And who's done this, by the way, where either you've gone live or you've posted something or you've done something and you've struggled and you've just kind of gone, oh, what was that about? And I'm sharing this because I want you to see that this can happen to you, firstly, at every level. And it's not like, oh, well, when I've got that business, it will all be easy and I'll never have that and I'll never whatever. And I also, in my aha moment, it was a really good reminder, and I'm actually so grateful for it now, because it was something that I talked with my clients all the freaking time, right? It's something that comes up again and again and again, and it is at the very heart of my own business. And I believe this is why my own business has grown to 6 figures. I believe that this is why I have incredible, gorgeous, amazing clients that I work with. I believe that this is why those clients kick ass, step into their power, and are freaking amazing, right? Do you want to know why? And do you want to know what I didn't do? So before I went live yesterday, I was thinking, okay, what do I want to share today? What's important for them to know? And something crept into my mind, because on day one, someone had put, I can't remember who it was, if it was you, it's totally fine, it's all good to have asked the question. Someone had put, but how do I do this? How do I actually start like a Facebook group, and how do I invite people in? And and so I was like, oh my God, maybe I need to like step this back a bit and be clearer and really start at the beginning and be a little bit like, okay, so do this and do this and do this and do this and do this. Those kind of essential elements that you need to put in place to have a Facebook group, right? Obviously, you need a name, you need a tagline, you need to create the group, you need to create a banner, and the better your banner is, the more attention it's going to grab. You need to have that about section that really speaks to your soul clients. You need to start putting content in there that feels awesome. Now, here's the thing. People can think that that's the most important bit of growing a profitable Facebook group. It's not. That's just the setup. Okay. And yesterday, I realized that the reason why I fell over myself is that I felt like I needed to talk about how to create a great banner. And I needed to talk about the tagline. But deep inside of myself, that wasn't the conversation I wanted to have with you all. Are you with me? Are you listening to me? The actual conversation I wanted to have was the conversation that really makes your group work and really makes your group profitable. Because the truth is, like, you need a banner, you need a name, you need a tagline. And if you really think about it, it's obvious that that name needs to be inspirational as well as explaining what it is. And that tagline needs to speak directly to your soul clients. And that banner needs to be bright and beautiful and hold the essence of you, so that when that pops up and your soul clients see it, they're like, okay, I'm interested, tell me more, because it contains all of you, because your soul branding is the essence of you. It's who you are in your life and in your business, as an entrepreneur, as a change maker, as all of those things, right? So in a way, I didn't want to get into the technicalities of, you need to go to Canva, you need to create an image that looks like this and looks like this and because I actually, yes, you do need to do that, but that essentially it's a quick step to do. The real conversation, the real thing that's going to make your group grow, that's going to create engagement, that's going to give you a space where you can sell in total alignment and flow and fill your programs and sell out your products and grow your business to the place you want it to be, is by being all a freaking you. It's by showing up. It's about sharing content. It's about giving value. It's about being a leader. And I know loads of women have blocks around being a leader or seeing themselves as a leader, because maybe it brings up old connotations of it being bossy or this or that, or who am I to do that? It can bring up a load of BS. But these are the things that really make the difference to you growing a group that's successful versus not. Are you with me? Tell me if you're with me. Tell me if you're getting this. And so the mistake I made yesterday, when I tried to force myself in a box and do what I thought I should tell you, is that I wasn't following soul. I wasn't listening to soul. I was falling into the shoulds. And guess what I teach people all the time? And guess what really helped me grow my business to 6 figures and beyond? Forgetting the shoulds. It was forgetting the shoulds, and it was instead following soul. What is inside me that I'm excited to share with the world? How do I take more of the layers, more of the masks off me and be more of myself? How do I give myself permission to see my greatness, be my greatness, feel my greatness? How do I decide and choose that that goal, that dream I see and feel for a reason? It's there and mine for the taking. I have to just step up and be the woman who owns that. Are you with me? So this is it. And this is the conversation that I want to have yesterday. And yes, I'm diving into selling and I'm diving into money mindset because it is directly related to this. And I do feel super freaking passionate about it. But I didn't feel passionate yesterday about talking about the banner. And so the learning that I wanted to share with you, and this is invaluable, right? Because this is the stuff that a lot of entrepreneurs won't tell you because they don't want to be seen as messing up or making a mistake or any of that stuff. They don't show you the truth of behind the scenes. They position themselves as this expert who's perfect, who's got it all sorted. And let me tell you what, it's BS. It's not true, because we're all human. And yes, we grow. And yes, we learn. And yes, the woman that I am today is very different to the woman I was 4 years ago when I was struggling big time in my business. But I am far, far, far from perfect. And we still get to catch ourselves no matter where we are on this journey. So I just wanted to share that with you, because the truth is, when you're growing your business, if you're doing this because you're passionate about what you do, because you want to make a difference to people's lives, and yes, freaking yes, you want to receive the income because you get to, because why not? What you're doing is needed and wanted in this world. Then the biggest thing that you can do in order to get the results that you want is follow soul. And yes, build strategies from that place, but do not fall into the shoulds of, I have to do it that way because the experts say this, or I have to do it that way because that won't work, or I have to do it this, otherwise everything's going to fall apart, because it is not true. And the way you show up fully in your business and get the results you want is by giving yourself permission to be all of yourself, say everything that you want to say, and share from that place of soul. What are you excited to put out into the world, rather than what do my clients need? What do these people need? And you might think, some of you might be like, well, Claire, that'll never work. That sounds selfish. And that, like, if you're not giving your clients what they need, then that can't work. But here's the thing. When we are all of ourselves, when we create from soul, when we share the things that we're excited to share, and we teach the things we're excited to teach about, we attract our soul clients to us who do want that. And those people who don't want that, go and find the people who are aligned for that. So the best thing that we can do in our businesses is give ourselves permission to be us. Give ourselves permission to teach what we want, share what we want, coach on what we want, give what we want, everything from that place of what am I excited to create. If I trust that I was given these gifts for a reason, and that is my job to be all of me and share them with the world, what do I want to create? What do I want to sell? How do I want to show up? What value do I want to give? What conversation do I want to have? How do I want to price my offers? How do I want to create my offers? All of it comes from within, because there are no shoulds. There are no rules. People pretend there are rules, but it's not true. Right. Rant over. Rant over. But here's the thing. This is important, and I want you to get this, and this is probably one of the most important things I could share with you. So we are about to go into the content for today, which is the truth about selling and money mindset. But the most important thing that I've said over these 3 days is what I've just shared with you now, because that is a game changer, and that is the thing that is going to get you to the 5K months, the 10K months, the 20K months, the 50K months, whatever it is that you really desire. That is really the thing. So forget the shoulds, the putting yourself in the box and all of that. This is a game changer. Right. The other thing, right, let me do housekeeping mini moments. So number 1, like the video, comment on the video, do the task for the day to be in to win a prize, because I know there's nearly 30 people on the live with me now, and only 22 people have liked the video, so some people haven't done it, just saying. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the doors are open to my 6-month mastermind. It's called 6 Figures with Soul. It's everything that you need to grow your business a big time, to blow up your business. It's really about going deeper on soul clients and your message and how you get out there in the world, how people see what you have to offer, how you sell from total alignment, how you fill your programs, how you really attract those soul clients. And we do it by going deeper and deeper and deeper. And within that as well, there are these mini kind of challenges that you're set that really keep you accountable, that really kick your ass, that are really going to stretch you. But it will be the most incredible 6 months of your life. You will love it. It will be life-changing, business-changing if you decide to dive in, even though it might feel scary. You get to book a call with me. We'll have a conversation to see if it's aligned. We can talk about the investment, all of that. But it's for women who want to make their next 5 to 10K months in their business. So if you know, maybe you're only beginning at the moment, but you're like, hell yes, I want to be that woman who's making 5K, 10K more in my business every single month, because I deserve to. Why the hell not? Look at all the people out there who do. So why not you? I'm putting the link in to the sales page. Don't go and check it out. No, I'm not putting the link into the sales page. Hang on, let me try again. I'm putting the link into the sales page. And after this live stream, not now, because we've got very important things to talk about, very important things to talk about, I want you to go and check it out. I want you to read it. I want you to see what it's about. I want you to check in with yourself and think, with my support, with me holding you step by step through the process, kicking your ass a little bit, shifting you up, pulling you up into your fullest self, helping you to feel that confidence, to feel that clarity, to feel that flow in your own business, so you can totally get out of your own freaking way and build some beautifully aligned systems and strategies that are going to get you out into the world in a much bigger way, attracting your soul clients, help you sell with soul, and grow your business big time. Why would you not? And there's an incredible amount of support from me personally in this program. It's all the trainings you could possibly need. It's weekly groups, very small group calls, so that you get coached every single week on that. It's access to me 24/7, and it's a deep dive one-to-one. On top of that, we have a 2-day in-person event that will blow your mind, because this is deep work that you probably have never done before. We really go there. We shift you, we transform you from the inside out. It's amazing. This is my thing into the world. This is my creation that comes from heart, that comes from soul, that comes from me giving all of me, for me going, what is the thing that I want to put out there in the world that I feel so passionate about? This is it. This has got energy through the roof. It's freaking amazing. It's freaking powerful. Booking a call. Don't wait. Here's the other thing. There is a bonus at the moment. If you book your call in before Friday, you don't have to have done your call before Friday, as long as you're booked in before Friday. So it could be next week, for example, but you've booked it already. Then you're also going to get bonus one-to-ones with me. I don't do one-off one-to-ones, by the way, but if I did, they'd be around £700 or £800 for this session. So you're saving. So that's an epic bonus to get, right? Boom. Sounds amazing? It is amazing. So choose to be brave and do it. Right. When Claire is in the flow, she's on fire. I am on fire when I'm in the flow, right? And everyone can be on fire when they're in the flow, because look what I was like yesterday. So that's proof that y'all can do it. Right. So who's ready for today's content? Let me have a sip and then we'll dive in. Right. So the first thing I want to talk about is the biggest mistake people are making when it comes to selling in your business. Now, here's the thing. You've got a Facebook group. You've made it feel like you've put in your energy, you've given value, you've stepped up as a leader, you're owning it, you're loving it, and you're selling with ease into your programs. FYI, you just saw me do it myself. How easy is that? How easy is it when you feel passionate about what you're selling, when you know it's freaking amazing and is going to bring incredible results to your clients? It is so easy to sell it, because you're like, these women need this, right? So that's how you should feel, and it makes it super easy to show up and sell with passion, with soul, in total alignment and flow. So the biggest mistakes when it comes to actually selling are, number one, lack of belief. And it's lack of belief in 3 different areas, right? So to flip this the other way, when it comes to actually selling in your business, selling with certainty, selling with soul, selling with passion, selling in a way that you're not holding yourself back, you need to have belief in 3 things. The first thing is you need to have total belief in your product or your offer or your service, whatever it is. You need to believe in this thing that you're creating and you are selling. You need to look at it and go, this is the best freaking thing since sliced bread. This is the thing that my clients need. This is the thing that is going to help them solve this problem and step into a whole new level of themselves, right? You've got to be able to look at this a little bit like, those of you who are mums will totally get this. You know, when you have a baby and, well, actually, one of my babies, I was like, it's got a bit of a squish nose. But apart from that, did anyone else do that? Did anyone else kind of get their baby first time and kind of go, I'm kind of joking. Like, can you imagine if one of my children saw this? They'd be like, is it me? I do have 3, so they'll all be like, no, it's that child, can't be me. When you have a baby, don't you think I'm funny? When you have a baby, in all seriousness, like you pick this thing up and you look at it and you're like, oh my God, this little human being is incredible. Look at this thing I created. How did I build this? How did my body create this? Really, I remember looking at my children and just being like, what? How did I make this incredible thing? And I felt so excited and so in the flow of life. I remember I felt amazing after I gave birth. I had some pretty horrendous births, but I felt amazing because I really was in just the magic of life and thinking how incredible that my body has built this thing. Well, here's the thing. We should feel the same way when it comes to the offers that we're creating, because we're birthing them into the world in the same way. They are our creations, right? So we get to feel the same way about them. We should feel lit up and excited and kind of let the idea come through us and then pull it out, birth the idea and be like, look at this. How amazing is this? So one of the things that it's worth doing, because this is where women sometimes, I'm sure men do it too, but I'm talking to women, right? This is where women sometimes trip themselves up because they start connecting it too much with themselves. It's like, well, but who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Da, 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 da. Like, we don't want ego to be getting in the way here. This is about you recognizing, and this is, let me share something that made a really big difference, actually. It's probably worth me sharing this with you. I really do believe that when I get inspiration, years ago, I read Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic. Who's read that? Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. If you haven't read it, go read it. And she talked about creativity being this beautiful thing, like external of us. It's like she talked about like catching the tiger by the tail. I can't remember all the bits. It was years ago I read it, but it was amazing. And I was like, wow, yes, creativity does feel like that. When I get that inspiration, it doesn't really feel like it comes from me. It feels like it's this gift that comes through me. This is irrelevant of your beliefs about God, the universe, whatever, right? So you might be like, it's a gift from God, or it's the muses that give me this thing, or it's just creativity that flies around on the wind and drops its thing, you know, a bit like Mary Poppins, right? But like, this gift comes through me. So when I create a new offer, and I know when it's really aligned, I know the difference between me trying to force an offer versus me being open to that creative energy and that idea like dropping through me. And I know when that drops through me in the same way a little bit that a baby is created, like you've not really done it, it's kind of just happened. It's like the magic of life that's created it. And so that's the energy to be in, to maybe take it away from you've thought of this idea and you've done this, and actually shift it to you are just like the conduit. I can never say that word. You're the funnel that it comes through into the world. And so you can fall in love, and that's how we should feel all the time about whatever it is we're selling, offering, whether it's a service, a product, whatever. Are you with me still? How do you currently can you relate to this, by the way? And how do you, I need your energy, baby had you up at 1 o'clock, oh dear. I probably wouldn't have this energy if my baby was okay, although I have to say my daughter did sleep with me last night and she literally kicked me in the back all night long. Okay. I'm like speed reading all your comments. I love it. So firstly, we need to absolutely freaking well fall in love with the offer, with the thing that we're selling. Number 2, we need to believe in our ability to sell it. If you're telling yourself, selling is really hard, I don't like selling, I feel icky selling, then guess what? Your energy isn't in the right place. Your belief isn't in the right place. So you need to start rewiring that. You need to start changing that self-talk in your head. You need to start catching yourself. Every time you find yourself saying, oh, but I'm not good at selling, or I don't like selling, or I, you know, whatever limiting beliefs you've got around selling, you need to find a way to park them and build some new beautiful beliefs around it instead, about actually I'm getting better and better at selling every day. Actually, I'm starting to feel in flow when I sell. Actually, I'm starting to see selling in a whole new way. And here's the thing, I get it. When I was coaching, when I first began coaching, and I was at that place of trying to grow my business, the thing that I used to say in my own head was, I don't want to have to market my business. I don't want to have to sell. I just want to be a coach and change lives. And I would say it to myself all the time, until one day I woke up and I realized, like, is that helping me? No, I'm keeping myself stuck by telling myself that story. I'm pushing marketing away. I'm stopping myself from really embracing marketing and finding a way of doing it that I love, because I'm stuck in this story of, I don't want to sell, I don't want to market, I just want to be a coach that changes lives. But here's the thing, you can't be a coach that changes lives if you can't really own and fall in love with your marketing, because your marketing is just as big a part of your business as your coaching. But the secret is, and this is what I teach in the mastermind, the secret is finding a really aligned way for you to market so that you fall in love with marketing. You know, I often took one of the parts of my program is called Love Fueled Launching. It's called Love Fueled Launching because we should launch from love. We get to shift it, to change the stories, to change the place. So that's the second thing. And the third thing, and again, this is where I see people make the mistake and fall apart, is your ability, the belief in your ability to deliver it. So maybe you're brand new at what you do. Now, if you're selling products, this isn't because you're like, yes, I get the product, I give you the product, it's fine, right? But if you are a coach, or if you are like a spiritual healer or a Reiki master, or like whatever it might be, then, and maybe you've created something for the very first time. Maybe you've got some doubts and some hesitation about, oh my God, can I really do this though? Maybe you've created this offer and you're like, yes, it sounds amazing, but what if I don't get them the results they want? What if it doesn't work? What if it's not good enough? Can you see how if you're in that mindset, you're probably going to sabotage your sales because you're scared of actually delivering the product and the offer? So maybe you won't sell fully, you won't get out there properly, you won't give it your all. You might think that you are, but remember, our egos are really freaking clever and they will try and trick us and trip us up, and they are so clever at sabotaging us, so freaking clever, that you might think you're doing everything to sell, but why are these clients not coming in? Well, maybe it's because you don't have full belief in your ability to deliver it, so your ego is being very clever and sabotaging you behind the scenes. Right? So they're the three biggest mistakes where people are lacking belief. So I just want you to check in with yourself around those. With an offer that you have right now, for example, or if you're thinking about putting an offer out there, do you have that total belief, that total certainty in those three areas? Or do you know that you can step the game up and do something more? And you might say, well, Claire, I know I need to do something more. How do I do that? Well, first, come and join me in the mastermind because we're going to recode that, baby. But what you can do for yourself right now is shift your mindset, shift your focus. Start asking yourself questions. Well, if I did believe it, what would I say? And what if I could believe it a little bit? And why not me? And if she can do that and she can do that, well, why wouldn't I be able to do that? So kind of shifting shifting your self-talk and asking questions. One of the questions I remember when I read Gabrielle Bernstein's book a couple of years ago, I think one of the questions was, what miracles are happening today? It's just like those questions that open us up, that expand us. And so ask yourself those questions, journal on those questions, use those affirmations. I used to drive around in the car like yelling Tony Robbins affirmations like out loud. Let me have a sip of coffee, hang on. Sorry everyone, but I used to drive around in the car yelling at the top of my voice because I was trying to recode them into my body, and you know what, it worked. I might have looked like an idiot to anyone driving past me, but over time it worked, and those highways and neural pathways in my own brain started to shift and started to change, and with that I started to get different results. So that's what I want you to think about. The second biggest mistake, so that was the first one, lack of belief. The second biggest mistake is not owning the sale and seeing it through to the end. When it comes to selling, how many stories do you know you might have around really actually selling? How many times do you say to yourself, well, I don't want to scare people off, I don't want to make people annoyed, I don't want to like be that person who's really salesy, really in your face, really like blah 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 blah, bye 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 bye, because you've probably had negative experiences in the past. We all have, right? We've all had negative sales experiences in the past where someone has been too pushy, where someone's been totally out of alignment, where it's felt icky, slimy, and all like, ooh, please stop. Here's the thing, if you've got that fear, you're never going to be that. Those people who are really sticky and slimy with sales aren't worried about being slimy with sales, right? They just want to sell. They're not worried about it. So the fact that there's even a tiny part of you that's worried about being authentic and being real and not pushing too hard and not annoying people says that you never will. But what I see so often is when women are selling, when amazing women are selling and they've got incredible things to sell, they're not really selling. It's a PS, or it's talked about a couple of times, or it's like a brief thing here or a brief thing there. When you're selling, you need to own it. You need to actually go, I am freaking well making sure that I am showing up every day and telling the world about this thing, because I know it's the best thing since sliced bread. You've got to start recoding that and changing your beliefs around what it means to really show up and sell. I remember listening to someone, I can't remember who it was, who said something about when we're selling and people don't buy, too often women go, oh, it's because they don't want this thing. How about instead, if you shifted it and reframed it to, if you're selling and no one's buying, it's because you haven't sold it enough, they haven't heard about it enough. If you instead tell yourself that story, how are you going to behave differently? So instead of going, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should move on to the next thing, or maybe this is the wrong thing, or maybe, like, you get into all that doubt and start questioning what you should do and maybe shelve it and go to another idea. You've never given it your all. What if instead you went, clearly, I haven't really shown them the value of this. I haven't talked about this enough. They haven't heard me talking about this enough. I need to get out there, be visible, and tell them why this thing is freaking amazing and why they need to book in a call for my mastermind. Right? So that's what you need to do. You need to own it fully and keep on going and keep on going and keep on going. Because remember, and this was years ago now, so I don't think this is true anymore. Like, when I was doing research about this, it was like, people need 7 touch points before they buy. I think that's changed. I think it's probably more like 10 touch points, 12 touch points before they buy. Well, how many times, remembering that social media don't show your people or your posts all the time, say out of 5 posts, your client might see 1. So if you've shown up and sold 5 times, your client's only seen 1. And then you say, why is no one buying? Guess why? You've not done the touch points. They haven't seen you enough. They haven't built, like, they're not ready. They haven't got to the readiness where they go, hell yes, let me do this. So instead of really questioning yourself when it comes to these sales and when it comes to, well, maybe I've already pushed it enough and maybe no one wants it and maybe I should just move on to the next offer, or blah, 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 blah. What if instead you were to go, well, hang on a minute. If they need 7 touch points, but let's say 10, because my maths is terrible. If they need 10 touch points and they maybe only see 1 of every 5 of my posts, I need to be selling like 50 times or something this thing. Are you selling 50 times when you put an offer out there, whether it's for a product or a class or a mastermind or whatever it might be? No. How many times? Like, what? Tell me now. That was bossy, wasn't it? Tell me now, how many times do you think, in all honesty, when it comes to you actually selling something in your business, how many times do you sell it before you move on? Is it like 1, 2, 5? And when I say how many times do you sell it, I mean including everything. So like in the emails you send out, in the Facebook Lives that you do, in the posts that you put out there, maybe in the like one-to-one conversations you have, maybe in the outreach, maybe when you message people or things like that. How many times do you think you're actually selling that thing so that everyone's seeing it? I want to see. Oh, Elena says, you saw recently it's about 12 touch points. Yeah, I could totally believe that. Only a couple of times, Anne-Louise. Yes, okay, long way off 50, right? Emma, 2 at the most, right? Can you see? This is like, so when we start to question and go, oh, maybe this isn't good enough, maybe people don't want it, we are jumping the gun so far. We are stopping way before most of the time we probably even started. So that's one of the things we need to shift. So I want you to take something away from this day. Maybe make a promise to yourself. I am going to sell at least X number of times next time I'm showing up and selling. How many times would that be? Is it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100? But obviously you can mix it up. You can make it exciting. You can do it in different ways. Because of my personality and who I am, like, you hear me, yes, joking about going, well, sign up for your thing and do this, but also I'm really freaking serious, because I also know that this mastermind could change your life moving forward. So I'm going to keep dropping it in. I'm going to keep talking about it, but it doesn't always need to be in a, right, everyone, I have a brand new offer and this is what it is and you need to do it because, and like, do it in your own energy. So it can feel fun and it can feel expansive. It doesn't have to feel icky at all. Okay, not enough, maybe 3 or 4. Daily for 21 days, yes, which is kind of what it needs to be, right? Totally see where I'm going wrong. Good. Have theme days, so I need to post. Absolutely. So sell to your heart's content, but be creative in your selling. Like, ask yourself, if you felt free and excited and on fire and in flow around your selling, what are all the ways you would just love to show up and sell? So where have we got to? That was number 2. And number 3, which I've kind of mentioned in terms of, we've got loads, like I have made some notes today. We've got loads to cover still. Stay with me because this is good stuff. This is a difference, by the way, between you getting the business growth that you want and you not. Can you see how this is essential? And it's really important that these are the things that we pay attention to. And can you see how your group comes into play with this? Because your group is another place that you can show up, that you can sell in a really value-driven way, in a really aligned way. So it's one of the reasons why I love doing challenges, right? I love doing challenges, I love doing Facebook Lives, because I can give you value. It's a value-led sales. Yes, I'm selling, but is it annoying? I don't think so. I think that in me selling and telling you about my mastermind, I'm showing you how you can transform your business and get the results you want. And I'm giving you value right now. So it feels aligned, it feels expansive, it feels freaking amazing. So number 3 is secret self-sabotage. So if you've got limiting beliefs around selling, if you've got limiting beliefs around your money mindset, if you've got limiting beliefs about how hard it is to sell, I mean, there are so many limiting beliefs that we can have buried when it comes to actually selling, right? But if you've got limiting beliefs there, then your ego might be very cleverly sabotaging you so you're not getting the success that you want. Because you're out of alignment, because something's not in flow, something's not working, you're not really in your power, you're not in your flow zone when you're showing up, and therefore your soul clients aren't quite connecting with you. The connection just isn't quite made. So is that useful? What's your takeaway from that section before I move on to the next section? Okay, loving all of this. Amazing. So that was only section 1, by the way. Look at all the value. Like, I actually think that today you need to listen to this live stream like 20 million times because I feel like I've told you so many golden nuggets. This is the stuff that gets the results. This is the stuff. So please, like, really think about this. Don't just put it to bed after this live stream. Like, maybe come back and watch this again and really think, what else can you take from this? So what's your biggest takeaway from section 1 in terms of the biggest mistakes? Is it around lack of belief and those 3 things you need for selling? Is it about not fully owning the sale? Or is it about secret sabotage happening by your ego because of the limiting beliefs that are happening? Right, part 2. Who's ready for part 2? Give me a little love heart or like a smiley face. Or I feel like this should be, because of Valentine's Day, can you see that I'm owning Valentine's Day this year? I am, because it's just a nice way to spread the love, right? I've actually got, it's not very fun, but I'll show you before we go into section 2. I bought little gifts for my children. I like to give my children gifts on Valentine's Day. We've got Ferrero Rocher gifts going on. Oh my gosh, somebody's opened. You know who will have done that? My daughter has secretly been eating the sweets. She found the stash. How naughty is that? That's hilarious. We're having words about that tonight. Okay, part 2. Part 2 is blocks around money and abundance. Blocks around money and abundance. We all so often have blocks around money and abundance. If we didn't have blocks, we'd all be freaking multimillionaires already. There is enough money on earth for everyone to be a millionaire. Did you know that? Can you believe that? Every single person on the planet could be a millionaire if wealth was distributed more evenly. So any of those rubbish stories about, well, I shouldn't have this because what about those people starving in Africa or whatever it might be, rubbish. Actually, there's enough for everyone. The secret is we have to step up and own it. We have to decide that we are good enough to receive it and to have money. So let's talk about blocks around money and abundance, because money and abundance go hand in hand, right? Firstly, the way that I think about abundance and money, because for me, abundance, money, money, abundance, they're very linked together. when I'm feeling abundant, I always have more money. That's absolutely true, without a shadow of a doubt. I know when I go and spend money, I always get more money in return, because I've trusted that life is abundant and that money always flows to me, right? I'm not necessarily suggesting that you do that, but I know it's true. Every time I invest in a program, I invest in a course, I invest in a coach, straight away I will get money flowing back to me really quickly, because I've said yes to my soul. So I think of this money and abundance as being this beautiful waterfall stream that flows right through my very being, right through my core. It's a beautiful waterfall. It has like the steam coming from it, and it has the little sprays, and it's got real energy to it, and it's really alive, and it's really like you can hear the sounds of the waterfall. Are you there? Can you feel it? Can you see? I want you to imagine your own gorgeous abundance waterfall and stream. And we're born with this beautiful, free-flowing waterfall and stream of abundance that flows through us. But as we go through life, as we hear the conversations from our parents, from our family, from school, from adverts, from society, we have these little mind beavers that go about collecting all the rubble, all the limiting beliefs, all the limiting stories, and they start to make a dam across our gorgeous, flowy river of abundance. And so they build this dam, they build this dam, they build this dam. They add in this limiting belief and that limiting belief and that thing around where you're not good enough to receive, and you're not safe with money, and money is evil, and the world isn't abundant, and why should you get that when they don't, and it's greedy to think that, and what if you lose it all? What if you make this money and then it disappears? Like, when you have money, you don't have it. Like, build, 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 build. And we all end up with this big freaking dam crossing and stopping and blocking our beautiful flow of abundance and money. And so when we become adults, we then end up feeling like there's never enough money, there's a real lack of abundance. We can get really focused on scarcity and not enoughness. I remember when I used to have the conversations around, like, I can't afford to. Yes, I want to do that, but I can't afford to. Yes, I want to do that, but I can't afford to. I'd be in this whole, like, I can't afford to, victim-y. It was a bit victim-y, to be honest, because I felt sorry for myself, because I felt like, well, life's not fair. How can she go and do it and I can't? Also, to make myself feel better, I spent loads of money. I got loads of credit cards. I got up the cahoots with in debt, because I started trying to make myself feel better by buying myself things, because this dam was really built. Like, my abundance consciousness was blocked big time, and that's what it's like for most of us. And then I started on the personal development journey, and guess what? I actually blocked up my dam even more, because guess what I started to do, and who's done this? I started to learn about personal development. I started to learn about where I should put my focus and about being positive. And I heard the story about whether your cup is half full or half empty, and I'm like, oh, I have a half empty cup, and I feel really guilty because everyone's talking about having a half full cup, and like, oh, what's wrong with me? And so what I actually did is I started to beat myself up on top of all of that. See, I knew I wasn't good enough. See, I knew that I should be better. I should be this, I should be that, I should be the other. So as my dam got even bigger to begin with. Who's ever experienced that when you started to learn about self-development and personal growth and all those kind of things, that actually you fell into an even deeper hole because you actually started beating yourself up on top of everything else, right? It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's so true. It was so true for me. Anyway, so we want to start noticing this dam firstly, and we want to start shifting this dam. And the only way we can start shifting this dam is actually seeing, well, what's this dam created? We need to start pulling it apart. And here's the thing, life does not have to stop. Business does not have to stop. Selling does not have to stop. Business growth does not have to stop as you're pulling apart this dam. I quite often hear people say, well, I need to go and do the inner work before I can go and invest in this thing or do this thing or sell this thing or jump to my next level. No, you do not. You do the inner work as you take the action. Life flows together. It's not one or the other. So my question to you, and this is what I want you to type in, is why would you not want to reach your money goals? Because this is one of the ways we can start seeing more of what's buried a bit deeper in this dam that is blocking our money consciousness. What are some of why let me read that again to you. Why would you not want to reach your money goal? Why would you not want to reach your money goal? I'll say it one more time just for fun. Why would you not want to reach your money goal? Let me tell you what I mean by that, because the first time I heard that I was like, well, nonsense. I do want to reach my money goal, obviously. And I was just like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever freaking heard. But actually it wasn't. And it was one of the really, really valuable questions I was asked that helped me. I'm just wondering why going on. It was one of the really valuable questions because it helped me see what I had not been seeing before. And this is the secret to unblocking this dam. It's starting to see what we have not seen before, so we can shift it, so we can change it. So I want you to type this in. Let me go down so I can see where they're starting to come in. Oh, Anya's just talking about the mastermind. Yes, me for a long time until I joined the mastermind, and I'm being honest here. I have my ups and downs, but they are short, and I am loving fun and pushing energy mode. Mwah, 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 Anya. Anya has been in my gorgeous mastermind. She's amazing. She's gorgeous. She's a fabulous photographer if you're looking for a photographer. But she's also going to be doing some other exciting things. But thank you, Anya. Right. I am waiting to see some of these things. Okay. As you're typing them in, I'm also going to share some of the things that originally, these are not there anymore, thank God, but they used to be there big time. So I'm going to share a few. So the first one of the reasons why I, at that time when I was struggling in my business, did not want to actually receive the results is, one was that I felt like it would come at a really big cost. What is it going to cost me in my life to make more money in my business? And the thing that I was afraid of it costing me, and you've probably heard me sharing about this before, is I had this belief. Now I look back and I'm like, what a stupid belief. But they're not stupid when we have them at the time, right? They feel very real. And that belief was, I can't be a great mom and have a successful business. Like now I know that that is total BS, but at the time it felt so true. And I remember someone saying to me, but is that true, Claire? And I'm like, yes, that feels like truth to me. So how the heck do I start to shift it? So that was one of my things. It felt like that income, that money, those results would come at a cost that I didn't know I was willing to actually make. And that cost for me was, I can't be a great mom and have a great business. That was one thing. The other thing that came up for me that was, again, really big, and I look back and I'm like, God, that was so crazy. But again, it was there and it was really real at the time, is I was really, and this is at the time when my goal was to have my first 5K month, right? So I'd been around the like £1,000 mark a month, £1,500 a month, and I was kind of bobbing around that a little bit, and I couldn't seem to get any further. And that was okay, but it didn't anywhere near like cover all the costs that we needed, like just to keep things going. And so like my goal was 5K month. And when I was asked this question and I pulled this apart, the thing that came up for me was, oh my God, I'm scared that if I do it once, I won't be able to do it again. I was scared that I would, if I had this 5K month, it would be amazing. And maybe everyone would get excited and my husband would be like, yes, amazing, this is fantastic. And then I would fail and I wouldn't be able to do it ever again. And it felt like that was huge pressure. And I was like, I'd almost prefer not to have that pressure, so I just won't have 5K month. Now, obviously, when I picked it apart, I realized how ridiculous that was, but it was there. It was buried in the rubble of my dam. Is this making sense? Another reason, a little bit, this wasn't a big one for me, but it was there a little bit, is what if I'm more successful than my husband? How will he feel about that? But that was quickly overcome by the fact that actually someone needs to pay the damn mortgage. So let's just make it happen. So there was a little bit of that. And then the other thing was, is it greedy? Is it greedy? This feels like it might be really greedy. Why should I want this money when other people are struggling? Shouldn't I just be happy with, like, you know, I was like, shouldn't I be happy with 2K a month or 3K a month? Because like, that's what lots of people would be happy with. Should I, you know, shouldn't I be happy just with that? Is it greedy to want more? And they were some of the real blocks that were in my consciousness, like my money consciousness flow, that beautiful river, that beautiful waterfall. It was that dam was blocking it. And so I had to work through that stuff to really get out of my way and start feeling abundant. Right, let me have a look at some of yours now, because I do want to read some of these. Feeling like you don't deserve it, so why me? Totally understand that, Emma. Why would I not want to reach my money goals? I wouldn't not, lol. I have a long list. Yes, okay, but I wanted to dig deeper, Eleanor, because if you haven't already hit them, there is something. There is that dam, but maybe for you, and it will be for some people, maybe that dam is beneath the water. So it's hidden. Maybe your subconscious is really freaking clever and your ego is really freaking clever at hiding this away, keeping it below the surface so you can't see it. So I would start digging into, well, if there was something there, what might it be? Of course, you're going to have a big freaking list like I did. I had a big list of all the reasons why, of course, I wanted to make 5K back then. I was like, well, I want to pay the mortgage and I want to be able to pay the bills and I don't want to have to feel so stressed and I want to feel successful and I want to help these women and I want to grow my business and I want to do that. And there was a massive list at once. But these were hidden below the surface. They weren't super obvious until I started really diving into them. They were hidden, and that's the point. They're normally hidden, right? So we've got more unworthiness, random people judging you for it, calling you a fraud. Yes, totally understand it. I had a belief earlier that I've worked through, awesome, that money and love cannot coexist. So that was a little bit like my money and my children, right? The two can't go together. Totally. Yeah. And you know what, Sanchali, I remember, and this was again something I had to really work through. I had a coach, and it was back this time, kind of ish the same time. I invested in this program, which was a lot of money, a huge amount of money. And I had, at the time, the way that I talked about my business, I was mindset coach, I wasn't a business coach. And I said to the coach, I said, I want a heart-centered business. I want a heart-centered business where I also get to, hit 6 figures. And the coach turned around to me and she actually laughed and she went, Claire, you can't have both. She was like, you either need to start being more business-minded and stop this heart-centered nonsense, or you're never going to get there. You're going to be struggling and broke forever. And I was like, stuck to the heart. And it really rocked me, and it took me a few weeks to get past that, and then the fire started building inside of me, and I was like, hell no. And I started finding evidence of all the people out there who did have heart-centered businesses, who did really care, who did give a damn, and who were earning a hell of a lot of money as well. And I was like, yes, it is possible, and I'm going to damn well prove it to you. But it can be buried beneath the surface. Yes, absolutely. The self-limiting belief was created in your childhood experience where your dad never gave you love but overcompensated through money. Yes, I'm sure you're not alone in that. Of judgment from family and friends who people who help are not supposed to be rich. Yes, there's this real thing about that, right? If you're spiritual, if you're making a difference, if you're using God-given gifts or any of that, depending on your mindset and beliefs around it, like, you shouldn't be making money from that. And it's like, rubbish. Look how rich the church are, for God's sake. Like, absolutely. Here's the thing. I believe, whether you believe in God, the universe, whatever, for me, it's just words. But for me, it's not just words. I believe it, and I don't mind what words I use for it. It's interchangeable. But I believe that we are part of something way bigger, and I believe that we are here for a reason. And I believe that we're here to expand consciousness. And the only way we can expand consciousness is living our fullest life. And the way that we live our fullest life is being all of ourselves. And yes, of course, receiving money, because money is just energy, right? Why would we not receive it? Because it gives us more options. It allows us to do more things and make a bigger impact and help more people and all kinds of things. Money is such a beautiful thing to have. So yes, I can't remember. Why did I start that right now? What did I read? So the fact that you have God-given gifts means that, of course, you get to receive richly for those. God would have wanted you to be rich and enjoy it all. Of course he would, I'm sure. If I've offended anyone with that, I'm sorry, but that's totally my belief. Like, money is just energy. And here's the thing, if you believe that money is abundant, this is really important. If you believe that money is abundant, if you almost just trusted that there was a total abundance of money, you would not be in any scarcity with it. You would totally believe that, of course, there's enough to go around, and of course you could have as much as you want. Like oxygen, right? Do you go around taking little breaths every day? Right? Thinking, oh my God, I better not breathe in too much oxygen because that's so freaking greedy of me. Who am I to think I can breathe in all this oxygen? No. Well, money's no different in a way. At the end of the day, it's still energy, and it's still all around us, and it's still available to everyone. You get to decide whether you breathe in deeply and take those beautiful, deep, luxurious breaths, or whether you're in scarcity mindset and think that there's not enough to go around, and so walk around the whole day not breathing properly. Money's no different. It's no different at all. So we need to shift that. We need to realize that money is just as abundant as oxygen. It's just as available as oxygen. The reason why it doesn't feel like it's flowing to you right now is because of this dam, because of these beliefs. Right. Ranty mood today. Very true. I now love involving your girls in your business. Lack of belief in myself and my service. So shifting that around, starting to see how incredible you are. Scared logistically, around shoots and editing. There's always a way. You know what? That's another thing. Like, what if as I build my business, I'll get busier and busier and busier? Here's the thing, the opposite happens. As you build your business, you have more income coming in, you can get more support, you can actually do less. Really important to start recognizing that. And it's really important actually to also know that that is an essential part of your growth in your business. At some point you will need other people to come in and do some of those things so that you actually become more free the more money that you make. Joanne, yeah, I'm wanting 4K months. I've made 1K per week before and I've only hit it once after that. Gutted. Okay, so it's that's that secret self-sabotage that's going on, Joanne. There's something going on there that's blocking you because it doesn't feel safe to do it. I'm afraid of overwhelm, more on your plate. Yes, but again, it's recognizing, it's going back to that belief that receiving this money doesn't need to make anything harder. You haven't got to work harder. You haven't got to do more. Actually, life can become easier. So it's because there are things in here going on that says, to receive this, I have to do this. And that's not true. That's fear mind. It's our ego that feeds us those lies. Allow my friends' lack of interest in my business. Hold on. Let me try that again. I allow my friends' lack of interest in my business to translate into belief that you're not good at what you do. Total madness, Ginny, but you know what? I've been there too. Absolutely. I'll never forget a few years ago, and this was with a friend I'd actually started a business with her years ago. We'd started a business. It was a big business that needed a lot of money putting into it. And I won't say who she is because if she's watching this, she'll know. She's probably not watching. I don't think she's in the group. But I told her about my coaching, and she was like, oh, why would anyone spend all that money when you could go and see a counselor for da-da-da? I'm like, because it's totally different to counseling. It's a totally different thing. And I remember that really knocked me, because I was like, this is a friend and she's saying it's not worth it and that it's crazy that people would pay me, but how much is her husband has his own law firm. I'm like, how much is she getting paid? Do you know what I mean? I was like, hang on a minute. What makes what you're doing more valuable than what I'm doing? And so that was really, really interesting, but definitely it can come up and make a big difference. Guilt of parents working so hard. Yes, I get it. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Digging deeper, I'm wondering if my fear of, if I give it all, my everything, what if it all gets taken away? And all my love and passion and perseverance. Here's the thing though, it can't all get taken away, right? No one can take away your passion. No one can take away your love. No one can take away your lust for life. Sometimes we might feel like we lose it temporarily when we work too hard or burn ourselves out, all those kind of things, but we always get to come back to ourselves. That love, that passion, that drive, that vision, that dream no one can take it away. It is always there inside of us, even if we disconnect to it for a little bit of time because of, you know, external things going on. And what is fully under your control is that checking back in and building that belief and recognizing. This is one of the beliefs that the past year I've been doing. What have I been doing? I've forgotten what it's called. I've been doing an apprenticeship in shamanism, and one of the biggest things that I've learned in this year is learning to trust that I am always safe, learning to trust that I am not alone, learning to trust that it's always this or something better, and all of it is just the next step on my pathway of living my fullest life that I can. And I think that when we start coming from that place, the fears, the scarcity, the doubt, the overwhelm, all of it starts to quieten down and we start to feel so much freer. Okay, so I'm going to keep on going, but there's awesome things coming up here. So it's about looking at these things, recognizing them, noticing, finding evidence that say they're not true, building beliefs, like tuning in our self-talk, tuning in to abundance. One of the things that I mentioned, so part 3 is overcoming money blocks. So it directly ties into this, right? So it's, well, how do we shift this? Firstly, we look at the beliefs and we start to change, and we start to say, that's not true. And this is why. This is why it's not true. Here's evidence of why it's not true. Well, what about someone over there? What about someone there? What if it wasn't true? What if I took away some of the power in this? We start playing with it. The next thing that we do is we start to practice receiving. We practice receiving. I'm taking a sip of coffee as you think about this. We practice receiving because what we do in one area of our lives, we probably do in many areas of our lives. And as women, we are freaking amazing at giving. We give, we give, we give, we give. We help, we give, we do, we give, we give, we give. What do we not do very often? Receive. We don't, right? How often? How often? If you think about that balance between giving and receiving in your own life, what's the balance? Like, is it 20-60, 50-50, 40-30? So tell me, what is it in your own life? What is that balance? Because this matters. We're really good at giving and not so good at receiving. If we're not good at receiving in one area, we're not going to be good at receiving in another area. So even when it comes to us growing our business, selling, we need to actually practice receiving with ease. Thank you. Thank you and more, please. Thank you and more, please. And yes, I will take it. Thank you and more, please. I'll never forget. This is when I was living in New Zealand and I was actually coaching a man. I don't coach a lot of men, so he was South African. He was awesome. Like, he was a great client coach, and I coached him for and firstly I put my prices up quite a bit when I coached him, so I'd already felt that, like and it came to the end of our coaching session and he got this massive wad of money out of his pocket, and he was like, I want you to know that you're not charging enough, that you've changed my life, and this is for you. And I was like, oh, no. And he's like, yes. He said, I'm not taking this with me. This is for you. You've transformed my life. I can't tell you how grateful I am. And it was quite a shocking moment because I hadn't expected it at all. And the whole time I've been coaching him, this is going back quite a long time, I had been in that whole, like, oh my God, is it good enough? Is he getting value from this? Is he going to wish that he hadn't bothered? Like, I'd got this story going on and on. Anyway, he put the money down on the table and walked out. And he'd left me a lot of money. And I was absolutely shocked. And it was one of those moments where, well, he'd gone, so I was receiving it, but I had to really work past like this guilt and like, oh my God, why has he done this? Like, all these stories bounced off my head, and I was like, help, Claire, stop. Why can't you just receive? Why can't you just say, wow, that's amazing. I'm so glad you feel like you've had that transformation and you've made those shifts, and that us working together has felt so valuable to you. Like, thank you, that's amazing. I couldn't at the time because I was crap at receiving. So what do you like at receiving? And how can you practice receiving more. 80-20, such a giver. 90-10, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, practice receiving in all areas. If someone wants to give you a hug, if someone wants to give you whatever, like whatever it might be, if someone says, oh, I could help with that, if someone opens the door for you, how often does someone open the door and then you actually take the door and also do it because somehow you feel like you shouldn't just say thank you and walk through it, right? Like, it's crazy, but it matters. So practice receiving. Number 2, choose trust. If I trusted that the world was abundant, that money flowed to me, that my business is growing, that clients are in abundance and are coming to me all the time, that I'm always safe, that I'm always growing, that life is working for me. If you had these beliefs, then what would you do? What would you believe? What action would you take? Because there are things that you would say yes to in your life that you're currently saying no to. You would start saying yes to working with a coach, making the investment, taking the leap, doing the thing that scares you a bit, because ultimately you would know that you could not fail. You would know that life has got you. So number 2 is choose trust. I'm speeding up here because I've been going for a long time, but I just want to get through it because there's still value for you to get from this, and it's really important. And number 3, notice, where are you settling for less than you really desire? I actually did this myself and have been doing this myself the last few weeks. So next month in March, it's a big birthday for me. I'm not sure how I feel about it still. No, I'm sure I am actually quite excited. Anyway, we decided that me and my husband, I don't want to party. I'm not a party girl. Well, I like going to the pizza. I like fun, obviously, but I'm not really my own party kind of girl. And so I was like, right, I'm going to go on an amazing holiday, a life-changing holiday, like a once-in-a-lifetime holiday. It's going to be amazing. And then I realised that actually only could go for a week because that's all we've got like babysitting time for. And then I started looking at prices, and I was like, I thought that holiday would be about a quarter of that price. I didn't think it would be that price. And I started settling, well, maybe we should just go here, or maybe we should just go there, or maybe we should just do this. And then I had to catch myself because I was like, hang on, where am I settling for less than I really desire? Because in doing that, you are chipping away at the value of you and your self-belief and your self-worthiness. You're saying, I don't deserve to spend that much money on a holiday. I don't deserve to have that thing that I want. I don't deserve to stop and have a massage. I don't deserve to give myself time to have that big bubble bath and light the candles. I don't deserve to give myself an hour out to do that meditation that I really feel I want to do. I don't deserve to have time out to go to the gym and exercise. I don't deserve, right? And so all the time, we're feeding that lack of belief and lack of worthiness of ourselves. So it's checking it and stopping it and going, hang on, hold the fort a minute. Like, we need to change this. Start noticing where you have a desire and where you can actually say yes to that desire. So whether it is going to the yoga class, buying the face cream, burning the candles, like buying yourself, like, oh, they're starting to die a little bit now, but like one of the things I always have in here are my own little beautiful flowers. Like, I always have flowers in my office because I'm like, flowers make me happy and I deserve them, god damn it. But here's the thing, you have to start saying yes to that before you're making some of the money, before, like, when it feels uncomfortable, because when it feels comfortable, it doesn't matter that much anymore. It's about saying yes to it when you feel like you can't have it. Every time I've let forward in my businesses, because I made an investment in my business that I thought I can't have, like if I'd have had the conversation with my husband, he would have said, no, save the money, then make the investment. But every single time I've taken the leap and I've made the investment and I've trusted that I will find the money as I go. And that's been the thing that has got me there, because I chose to trust myself. I chose abundance. I chose that I am the woman who could do this. And because of choosing that belief, it meant that I did. And if I'd have done it the other way around, if I'd have done what my husband would have been much happier with me doing and gone, okay, I'll save this money and then I'll do it, I'd have probably never saved the money. So I would probably still be stuck at 1 or 2K a month in my business, which feels like, oh my God, like, would I still be going at it? I don't know, because it feels like that would be horrendous. It would be really hard. So the way that you become this woman who has the business that you desire, has the relationships that you desire, has the life that you desire, is by saying yes to it and taking the leap before you're ready. Because in doing that, you are choosing trust, you are choosing abundance, you are choosing faith, you are choosing flow. And then, of course, the outside world has to step up and match it. And then the last thing that I want to talk to you about today, it's been a big one. Well done for staying here. Well done for staying strong. If you're still with me, like, mwah, you're amazing. So the last one is create your aligned sales plan. And this ties into what I was saying earlier about letting yourself off the hook around sales before it's really been done. You've got to own that sale. Once you get into the sales process, if you haven't got a plan that's aligned for you, so I'm not talking about a plan some experts told you to have, but a plan that feels aligned, expansive, and good. If you don't have that, you will start the process and then you'll tell yourself you've done enough, it's not selling, move on to the next thing, and you'll let yourself off the hook far too easily. Have a plan around, you're going to do this, 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 and you're going to damn well keep on going until those sales come in, because you believe in this product and offer, you believe in yourself, you know that you are the woman who is building this business, making this impact, receiving this income, living this life, right? It's making that decision. So make it easier for yourself by creating a plan. So on the days when it feels hard, there will be days that feel hard. On the days where there's no belief and you think, oh, this isn't working, I just want to go and hide and give up. And you know, it's okay to take time out, by the way. Like, it's that balance between the hustle, and I like hustle has a negative connotation. I like a bit of hustle. I like doing the action, doing the things, and it feels expansive and fun and go, 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 go. And I quite like it. So I like doing the hustle. Do the hustle. Anyway, so I like doing a bit of that, but I also need the opposite to balance me. So I'll also have the days where I go, you know what? Time out, baby. Friday, for example, I've booked myself in for spa day. I might take a photo of myself in the spa. So I've booked myself in a spa day. I have those times where I go, no, like, I'm just going to stop and go do a meditation, or I'm going to stop and I'm going to go shopping for half an hour, or I'm going to stop and I'm going to do whatever it is my soul feels like it needs. So I'm always checking in between, like, what's the real action that I'm taking, and how am I showing up for myself, and how am I believing in this, and how am I like, hell yes, we are doing this, along with how am I honoring my needs, and how am I stopping when I need to stop, and how am I fueling myself and making sure that I'm looking after myself and nurturing myself as I'm doing all of this. Your task, nearly forgot about your task for today. Your task for today is to write five really empowering affirmations that are going to help you shift your money mindset and sales beliefs, okay? The truth is, when it comes to how you sell in your group, the how doesn't matter so much. You sell on a live, you sell in a post, you sell on an email, let it flow from soul. Don't get perfectionist about it. The real thing, the thing that gets you out of your own way, is what we've talked about today. Like, this is the thing that really matters. This is the thing that gets you results. So 5 beliefs, 5 empowering beliefs that you're ready to take on around sales and mindset, but flip them. So if you've got, for example, if you've got a belief that says, like, I don't deserve to earn the money I want to make, flip it. I am always deserving of all my desires. For example, if it's making money is hard, flip it. The more fun I have, the more money I make. If it's money comes at a cost, flip it to, like, money is abundant and flows to us constantly. Like, so notice what maybe your limiting belief is, flip it to your positive belief, and 5 really positive, empowering beliefs that you can choose every day, and then do something with them. So don't just post them in the group and be like, right, tick, task done. Like, Put them around you, put them on your phone, shout them to yourself in the car, sing them to yourself in the shower. I sing to myself all the time, as you've probably noticed. Like, I sing it even on here, I sing. So of course I sing it to myself all the time. So actually use these to help you and to start shifting this. And maybe it would feel really aligned for you to go and create your aligned sales plan right now. I want to say, there's a few more things I want to say, so bear with me, stay here for a moment, because although I said this is a 3-day challenge, this is not the end. I've got a masterclass that I'm planning that you're going to freaking love. So that's going to be happening in a few days. We, of course, have got the competition, and that will be happening in a few days. And of course, the doors are open to my 6-figure with Soul Mastermind for women who are ready to take the leap in their business. Yes, it's an investment. However, it could be an investment at double or triple the price. I've certainly been in masterminds that give less, but are charged at higher prices. It's life-changing, it's transformational. You get not only all the training, all the teaching, all the how, you also get me holding your hand and supporting you every single freaking step of the way, so you can grow your business big time, so you can start showing up in a whole new way. You get a whole training vault with all kinds of different trainings in there, all the hows, all the deep, all the mindset, all the strategies, everything. You get a small intimate group call every single week. You get your own little personal community. You get access to me. You get a whole hour deep dive with me every single month on top of that, and you get a 2-day in-person event. And if you actually go and book your call in, so you don't have to have done your call before this Friday, but you've booked it, so even if it's next week, it's booked, you are also going to get a bonus of a deep dive one-to-one session with me, which in itself would be worth £700 or £800. So it's amazing. It's for those of you who are really ready to step up and create those 5 to 10K months of your own, which is totally possible during those 6 months that we work together. I want you to get that. It is totally possible for you to be making those 5 to 10K months for yourself in those 6 months. And the investment would then be less than a month of what you're earning. So for me, it's a no freaking brainer. It might feel like, where am I going to get that money from? But I tell you what, it will be worth it. So thank you for joining me. It's been amazing. I can see that there's so many comments here that I haven't even seen. I'm quickly flicking through all of them now. You're all incredible. Julia says you love the hustle song. I don't even know if they're the words. Are they the words, or have I just put those words in myself? I don't even know. I'm putting in the link to the sales page again. Have a look at it. When you go on the sales page, scroll down and you'll find the little button to book in a call with me. It is a personal call with me. If there are no calls in there, but you want to speak to me, messenger me on my personal, hang on, my phone's ringing, messenger me on my personal Facebook, not my business one, because it's a mess in there. Sorry, how rude. Messenger me on my personal Facebook, so maybe send me a friend request, message me, and let's have a conversation, see if it's a really good fit. It will be amazing. As I said, there is still more to come, so keep an eye on what's happening in the group. Do your task for the day, and I will see you very soon. And thank you for being here. It's been amazing. It's been incredible being with you here. Mwah! That's all I have to say. Mwah! Go kick ass. Bye.